So we're recording. Terrific. Okay, everybody's there, right? And ready?
Yes.
Okay, terrific. All right, it looks like you already have it bookmarked. Okay, so I'm just going to click on your bookmark right here. So
Perfect.
The site we're going to go to is ecertify.connect-suite. I'll send a follow-up email after the training, and I'll have this link in there too if you want to forward it to people.
Okay, great.
Okay, so Lauren, I believe you're in there already. So let's put your email address in.
Yep.
Okay, and then the password will be the same. And later on, I'll show you how to change that, how every user could change their password.
Right, and then set password from the email that you sent earlier, right?
Yeah, it should be your password. It should be your login. Is your
Right, yes.
your email address? Yeah, if that's your email address, yeah. Oh, nope. Okay, let me check something then. Let me see.
Or do we have one login for the company?
I'll be able to set up everybody on with a login, so everybody will have.
Okay, so you're going to administer this?
You're right, yeah. Okay. We have administration powers on it, so yeah.
Let me just look up your account here.
There we go. I think we.
Oh, okay, got it.
Okay. The first time.
Yep. Okay. So this is your terms and conditions screen. Okay. You could
Sure.
you could read it if you like to read it for everyone aloud. Okay. Or you could just download. You could download it, or you could just accept it. All the way at the bottom there should be accept.
We'll just accept and go forward.
Okay, great. Okay, so when you first log in, this is the screen you're going to see. This is your home screen, and I can show you how to customize the screen as well later on in the training.
Okay.
Anytime you want to come back to your home screen, you can click on the NeoPost icon in the left-hand corner up here. Okay, and that'll always take you back to here. Lauren, you are an administrator, so you have access to this hamburger menu on the right-hand side here, meaning you have all these options here, so you can make changes to the system. All right,
Gotcha.
so the first thing, would you like to add some users to the system?
That's great.
Okay, so you're going to click on users. And then you're going to click on new user on the top right-hand side.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, there you are. Okay, so you're the only one in there right now. So we'll click on new user. Okay. And by the way, I think, Lauren, I asked you all this. You don't have any other locations you're mailing from, right?
No, just
yeah.
We do have another location that we mail from, but they don't do any certified
Got
mail.
So. Right. Okay. And you're not using departments within your office right now, where you would have people.
Not in the way that y'all have departments set up. No.
Okay. Good. Perfect. Okay. Great. So what you could do is put the user email address in, put the full name in, and then you could copy and paste that email address and paste it in the word password, retype password, and notification email address. Okay. So by the way, every user is going to get an email from the post office when they sign in. So that's what that notification email address is for. There's also, when we set up profiles, there's also a place where you can put an alternative email address as well into the field. Okay.
Right.
Or an alternate one. So, okay, so we want to display. So right below it says display filter. So what you want to do is you want to drop that down. Okay, and you want to check location department. Okay, so the last choice down there. So select that. And the reason we did that because we created a new location because we have your logo. Okay, so we changed the address a little bit and we modified it a little bit. Okay, so now you have to decide if you want to make this person an administrator, okay, which would have the same controls as you, or just a user. If you want to make them just a user, then just allow submit to USPS is the only option you want.
Okay.
So you could select it. I'll let you finish.
Yes, Tim, go ahead and make her an administrator and allow that.
Okay, great. Now on the right-hand side, you got to check that location. So everybody's going to be part of that location. So you always check that box. Now, if you scroll down, there's another field there. You don't need to fill that out unless you have somebody that's working from a home office and they plan on sending certified from there. That's the only time you would fill that user address out. But if you're all set, just hit save. Okay, would you like to add another user?
Yeah.
Okay.
The reason I'm making you an administrator is so that if JJ wants to change something, we can. You can.
Yeah, I change it.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll add the other,
Users later on?
yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, great. So let me just go over a couple of settings here with you. I'll be on the phone. I already went through the system already, so. Okay. So currently you're sending in, you're filling out the green cards?
Correct.
Okay. So, by the way, I made the report format comment delimited. So anytime you run a report, it's going to be in the, it's going to open Excel. Okay. Also, people that can see reports are only administrators. Okay. Just so you know that. And your central time. Okay, so I check these boxes for you, and this will make sense as we go later on in the training. Add return reference number to the POD, proof of delivery, okay? And that could be a unique number. That's a 150 character or alphanumeric field. You could put anything you want in this field, okay? And it's a way to ID the piece. So when you get this proof of delivery back from the post office, it would be on there, okay? So this sheet of paper you're going to get back from the post office is going to have the signature on it. It's also going to have the post office logo. It's going to have the recipient name and address on it. It's also going to have, if you get a return to sender, you're going to get it, a return to sender. It's going to tell you why it was returned to you. Okay. We also have your mailer name on the POD. Okay. This is a second page, a second PDF that you can receive from the post office. So as this piece goes through the post office, they're scanning it, right? So,
Sure.
So when it goes from one post office to the next, they're always scanning it. So it could be in transit, it could be doing a number of things, all right? This is the history of that piece, okay? This is from one end to the other, what happened to this piece, okay, as it traveled through the system. It's optional if you'd like to see it, okay? Later on, I'm going to show you when you search for a piece, you could also look up the same information, all right? And it's called live tracking. But this is if you want to get it in your email. So that's up to you. It's optional.
Yeah.
Would you like
Yeah,
it?
we do want that in the
Okay.
email.
All right, terrific. So we'll do that, and then we'll just save. Now, of course, I already set up your tracking label. Okay, and we call it the banner page a tracking label. Okay, this is where the barcode's going to be created, and that's a sheet I sent you the sample.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. So I just wanted to show you this because I have a few questions for you on this while we're in here. And the training will begin shortly as far as using the system, but just a few little maintenance tips here. Anyway, so you have the option here, okay? So that proof of delivery, okay, you can show all these options on this, and I'll give you a preview on this banner page.
Mm-hmm.
And it's up to you what you want to show here or not. You can uncheck it if you don't want to see it. Okay, there we go. All right, so that's going to be the barcode and the return address, but these fields here could show up on this banner page as well. Okay, just remember when you stuff in your envelope, whoever opens it's going to see the same information, okay? But this field here, this return reference number is going to show up on that proof of delivery that comes back from the post office, okay? That second optional page you chose would also show these custom fields. So if you decide to use these fields, okay, you could rename these anything you want.
Right.
All right,
Yeah.
so you have the option to use it. You could also display the postage. When we create a tracking number, we also have to give an estimated postage value. Okay, so that would show up here if you choose this. So I just want to show you that. So you have to make a decision on what you want to show on this banner page. Okay, so yeah.
We'll just keep it the way it is for right now. We may change it in the future, but
Okay, all right, terrific. So you would do that under tracking label.
Right.
Okay, and then edit your single window envelope, which is this one here. Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
All right, good. Okay, and then the last thing I did was I created a profile for you.
Okay.
All right. So the profiles is going to be that single window envelope. It's basically just a shortcut, okay, or a macro. Okay, it just remembers all your settings. That's all it is. Okay, so I set this, and if you had departments, we set that. I already set your location. Okay, the zip code didn't change, so that was the same. It's a return receipt, certified return receipt. Okay, and it's a letter. Okay, and then the enable proof of delivery and acceptance. It's going to go to the email address of the person that's creating the piece. This is if you want to send it. You don't want to send it to me though, but this is if you want to send it to an alternate email address. You would check this box, put that address in here. Okay.
Right, and we can change that for each individual piece, correct?
Well, you could each user you could actually put whatever you want in the users. Each user has a notification email. Okay, you could put whatever email address you want to put in there. Okay, but they're always going to get it. They're always going to get it as long as it's in their email notifications, their email address under their username. They're always going to get these notifications. Okay?
Right. We have some people who won't be in the mail system, but will need to get the emails. So. Okay.
Yeah. So let's put that here.
Can we change that individually as we go, or does this have to be set up ahead of time?
Let's see.
We'll have to come in and change it each time.
So how is it going to work? So you want certain people just to see. All right. So maybe the person that's sending it, right? So they may not necessarily be the person that is creating the piece. Correct? Is that what I'm trying to understand? Yeah. Okay. You could put that person as a user if you like. I'm just trying to think how you would do it on the fly. You know what? You could. You know what you could do? Yeah, this is what you could do. You could put. Let's see. If you go to profile, you know what? I'm just thinking if there's another way you're doing it when you create the mail piece. Hold on. Let me just check something.
For this, because you're going to have too many different users back there. It's a really good idea. The mail machine.
We can do that. We're not. I mean, we're only. The thing is, he wants to get.
He'll want notifications
to his email. He wants Brenda to be able to get a notification.
Oh, you can. Yeah, you can. You can change the person. Yeah, you can. All right. When we create the tracking piece. Sorry.
Email. That way we can all access it and track it.
Yeah, it's just I know he doesn't want everything to be in a general thing.
Well, in that case, I'm the only one that sends out his stuff.
Yeah,
so and I'm not going to send out Brenda's stuff.
No, I'm the only one who's probably going to send
under my name. I can just add his and leave it alone.
Well,
yeah,
that's a good idea.
I just found out one thing though. Under create tracking, you can change the email notification right there on the fly. Okay.
Yeah, for each individual piece.
Yeah, for each one.
Yeah. Okay, that's what they told me when we originally talked about doing it. So I just wanted to make sure.
Yep. Right.
That was okay.
Yeah, you can. I just want to make sure it was there. I never expand those windows too much because usually the macro is set already. But you can make changes to this macro. You don't, so you could pick it, choose this profile when you're running you're creating your tracking number, but you could make up changes to it on the fly. So I'll show you how to do that. All right. So this is all set here. Okay. So I'll just cancel this out. All right. So we can start the training on how to use the system. So. Okay, and also you're going to get a proof of acceptance. You bring those little stickers down to the post office. You have them stamp it for you, right?
Right.
And hand it back to you. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do that as well. Okay, when each individual is going to create their tracking number, they just have to remember to keep their pieces together. Okay, so when they print their proof of acceptance, they're going to say, I like to say, just take the sheet of paper and bundle it around there or rubber band around their pieces. Run them through the postage machine, keep them together. When you go to the post office, you're going to hand them that one bundle. Okay, that'll have all the pieces that are listed, and I'll show you as we go on what it looks like. Okay, the firm book. Well, we call the process create tracking. Okay, so create tracking is here. So if you want to go right to create tracking, you could click on this menu here. In my mail queue, there's create tracking. Under favorites, there's my queue, and that has mail tracking as well. On the home screen, I also have my mail queue. Okay, my mail queue is where everything takes place. So as you create the tracking numbers, they're all going to show up in this mail queue.
Right.
Okay, and here's create tracking here. Okay, so the same as this, right? So when we click on this, we're going to bring up the create tracking window. Okay, we're going to pick our profile. The profile's the default. You only have one. Okay, so we don't have to worry about picking that. We have an address block here. You can copy and paste into it. So if you have a Word doc or an email address, you could just copy and paste here. Okay, so I'm going to put myself in here right now. By the way, did you get that envelope I sent out?
I did, yes.
Oh, terrific. Okay. I'm going to have you. I have to create another profile, but I'll do that at the end. I'll do it before we submit the pieces to the post office.
Okay.
Okay, so we have address validation. Okay, if you notice right down here, that's going to validate. We do a street level validation. So it's going to look at 478 Wilderness Farms Road, Milford, Connecticut, and check to see if that's a true address. Okay, so I'm going to click on it. It's going to bring up another window. And sure enough, it made some changes to it. If you notice, it put everything in caps. It also abbreviated road. Okay, and it added the zip +4. Now, we're going to use this address. The post office, when we submit this electronic file, they're going to come back to us with a response, and that's the next email you're going to get, okay? So you're going to get a response from the post office maybe about a half hour to an hour later. And it's going to say accepted with warnings, or rejected. Okay, now if you see rejected, that means the post office is having trouble on their side. They're not able to track the mail right now. So you may want to resubmit these pieces, okay? So you may want to print them out again and resubmit them, and about maybe an hour later try again. Now, it doesn't happen often. It's a very rare occurrence, and it really hasn't happened for a long time, okay? So something not to be too concerned about. Accepted with warnings could be an endpoint problem. So say if I had a suite number here, and it had me down at 200, excuse me, and the post office has me as 100, that could give an error. Okay, it would be accepted with warnings, and that's an endpoint problem, okay? So a lot of times the carrier has been doing a route for a long time, most likely the piece will still get to where it's going. But it's something to make note of in your address book if you had it there, that you may want to check that apartment number or a suite number, okay? I have two address books in the system. I got a personal one, and I have a private, public one, okay? So if I check this box, this will add it to my personal address book. Okay, meaning, Lauren, you'll have it in your address book. I can show you how to make it public later on if it's a commonly used address. I did mention that we have to calculate the postage, okay, and that's basically what we're doing. We're going to estimate the postage value of this piece we're sending. First of all, we're telling it it's a letter anyway, okay, by that profile. So we have several ways of doing that. Okay, so first, if we know the postage amount, we can key it in. Okay, so it's 50 cents, we could put in 50 cents. The program will figure out the certified and the return receipt part. So we just have to put in the first class postage amount. If you know the weight of the piece, you can go to weight. Okay, and you can put it in ounces. Okay, if you know how many pieces are in the envelope, and this is what I like to use, the page count. So if you know how many are in there, you're going to have it open anyway because you have your banner page you have to add to it. So you're going to know how many pages are in there. All right, so, and this is based on your 20-pound bond copy paper. You get it like Office Max or Staples, okay? Just keep in mind, though, if you already have 4 pages in the envelope, you're going to add one more, your banner page, so it would make it 5 to 8 then in that case, all right? So just remember that. So I'll pick that, and this is that return reference field. Now this field, again, 150 alphanumeric character field, I could make it mandatory. I could make it required. I could put a little red asterisk here and make it a required field as well. This one's not renamable, okay, but these custom fields are. Again, this would show up on that second PDF. This would show up on the first PDF.
Right.
All right. And we'll just hit save. And that's it. We created our first mail piece. So it's basically address, calculate postage, and if you use return reference number, if you don't, just ignore it, and that's it. You created your first piece. Save you a lot of writing, huh? So, delivery address, tracking number, we create this tracking number. It's going to have your custom field here. Also, the profile that we used, and I could still edit this piece. I could print my banner page from here. I could edit the piece, and I could delete it. So if I want to make changes to it, I could still do that. All right?
Sure.
Okay. So I'm going to create another one while we're in here. Okay. So I'm going to use my address book lookup. And by the way, you can look up by zip code, by address, by name. All right. So when you're searching for it, once you find it, you just select it. Okay. Pick my page count. And test 2. And then save.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. That's your second piece. Okay. So now I'm done. I'm going to print all these pages. I'm going to print my banner page. I'm going to stuff it in the envelope. Okay. So I would select all. And by the way, this is if you want to print just individual pages.
Sure.
Okay, banner page. This would be all of them. So everyone that you check, you click on this, download banner pages, it will download all of these.
Gotcha.
It's going to open up the PDF. Okay, and there's that familiar logo, right?
Right.
Tracking number, delivery address, and then these are the fields. Okay, so we have the person who sent the piece, the return reference number, and then the custom fields we didn't use, and the postage value. That's page 1, and then you have page 2 below it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You notice that was 560. This is 575, so it was a little more money. 5 to 8 pages brought it up to over 3 ounces, probably. That's why. Okay. All right. So we're done with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to uncheck that one. I'm going to delete this one. And if you could just give me a moment, I want to print out. Can I print from this?
We are unsure of that.
Oh, you know what then? You know what I'm going to do? You know what I'll do, Lauren? I'll email this to you. Okay, the PDF, because I could do it from my computer, and I'll just send an email. I'll ask you to print it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then just let's see. Can I do it from? I'll do it under jobs. I'll print the banner page. No, I'm sorry. I just have to do one thing. Okay. And actually, you can see what I'm doing right now with this, but I'm going to use this as just a test piece. Okay, so I'm going to do this quickly. Now, this is basically the only envelope you'll ever be using, right?
Yeah, we don't
plan
on.
Right. Okay, that's fine. Yep. Okay. 20. And okay, that's it. I just have to create a profile. I'll delete the profile at the end.
Sure, no problem.
Now, I just thought of it. What I should do is have them send out the postage and a value and a sticker, and just have you apply it to any envelope that you have.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, but we like to send the envelope with it. But okay, so and this you could follow this piece as it goes through the system as well. All right, that's why we send it to you.
Right. Sure.
Okay. All right, so I'm just going to go back to my mail queue, and I'm just going to change the profile on it. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'm not going to worry about that. So, all right, so this is good. All right. Yes, because I didn't pick the logo. Okay, so we'll just, all right, I'm just going to leave it the way it is. Okay, All right, so
I
now.
can print it out when I get back to my desk this afternoon.
Oh, yeah? Okay. All right, that's good.
That's easier for you.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's not a problem then. All right, good. Okay, so so now we're done, right? So we printed our banner pages. Okay, we stuffed our envelopes. All right, you're going to make sure your pieces are all checked, okay, down the list, and then you're going to submit them to the USPS. Okay, what happens now becomes a job. All right, so depending on how many pieces you have here, they'll be listed here. We have an electronic file number that we sent to the post office, the user who sent it. It's ready to be brought to the post office and have stamped. You have your date and time. It was created. This is where you're going to print your firm book. Okay, so before you leave the screen, don't click done yet. You want to come here. You want to click on your postal reports. So every user that's going to submit to the USPS has to do this. All right, you're going to open up the PDF, and this is what you're going to see. It's going to be a barcode here, and the post office is going to scan it. They're going to check to make sure all the pieces are in this firm book, and then they're going to stamp it and hand it back to you. Okay, and that'll be your legal copy.
Yeah.
So no more stamping individual copies. You'll get one copy for all of them.
Right.
By the way, you can still print this anywhere, and there's another place to print it in the system. I'll show you that as well.
Okay.
So don't worry. If you click done accidentally, you can still print it. Okay, so this is page 2 and page 1 of the same report. This here, what I'll do is I'll email you this as well, but I'll just explain what it is. Okay, you could save it as a file somewhere. It's another PDF, and what it is your it's your license. Every user of eCertify has to have a mailer ID. Okay, with the post office. So NeoPost is sharing the mailer ID with you. So you didn't have to get your own. Okay, if you do, you could still apply for your own if you want, but it takes 6 to 8 weeks to get it from the post office. You have to send in some test files, test banner pages before they approve you. Okay, this will show you that you have the right to use this mailer ID from NeoPost. Okay, so the postmaster may ask for it, they may never ask for it. Okay, most likely they won't ask for it, but if they ever do, you have to supply this to them. All right, and this is your proof. All right, so I'll send that over to you later on. I'm just gonna make a note to myself.
So y'all understand what that firm book that he's sending is? That's basically a substitute for the little white card that you would get stamped when you did a certified book. So instead of doing the little white thing on the front and the green thing on the back, you just put everything into one of these envelopes with the banner page, and then you print off this firm book, and that's what they stamp and you bring back, as opposed to bringing back the little white sheet. White page.
Yep.
So when you click on the little icon under actions, that page that pops up,
Yes,
you print that?
you print that and take it with.
But it doesn't go in there?
No, it doesn't go in the envelope.
Okay, got it.
Right, right. Yeah. What I mentioned before is you keep all your pieces together. Sorry. If you had 10 pieces, keep them all together, print out that firm book, and I just say rubber band it together. I mean, just keep it with the pieces, basically. Okay, because because they're all going to be listed on that sheet, so you need to keep them together when they verify it. All right, that's all. So basically, that's it. You'll click out your report, you'll click on your report, print it out, and then just click done. Okay, and that's it. You're finished. Okay, pieces drop. I'll run them through the postage machine. By the way, I'll give you the instructions for the postage machine. It's a NeoPost machine. Is that what you have right now?
Yes.
Okay, I'll give you the instructions on how to get the rate. Okay, I'm working on getting the instructions on how to make a shortcut. I haven't gotten them yet, but when I do, I will.
I know how to make a shortcut on
ours.
ours.
You do? Oh, terrific. That's great.
Yeah, I've made about 5 of them.
Oh, okay, great. All right, so you can make another one for this one, okay? But it's going to be,
we'll just make a new one.
Yeah, it's going to be certified offline return receipt. So you're going to pick extra services, certified offline return receipt. You should see $5.60 for a letter, for a 1 ounce letter. All right, so if you see that, you know you got the right rate. All right,
Perfect.
so we're done. We'll click on the NeoPost in the corner. Okay, so now you want to look up pieces. All right, so we can look up individual pieces. All right, each user can look up their own pieces. So you click on mail pieces. Oh, you know what I didn't show you? I'm sorry. Can I just backtrack 1 minute? I just want to. Let's go back to create tracking again. And this was very important because we discussed it. So again, put in all your information here. Come down here, see additional settings.
Mm-hmm.
This is where you can make changes to this macro, this shortcut. Here's where you can put the email address in. You can put the other person's email address in here.
Gotcha.
All right. Let's see. What else? Oh yeah, and then you could, if you wanted to send Certify without the return receipt, you could. Okay, and I think that's all you'd want to change on it.
And so on that email drop down, how do we get different emails into
you know
that
what?
drop down?
Yeah, this way. Just want to check that a minute. Yeah, because I can't. You're right. I can't change that. Oh, you know what it is? It's probably the other locate. Yeah, it's probably the you know what, alternate. Hold on one second. I bet you that's what it is. It's the alternate address. Yeah, because I was in that alternate address right now. Unless you put somebody else in there. Okay, so I'm sorry. I guess you can't change them on the fly here. You only have a choice of multiple email addresses. I wonder. Just want to think about it a minute. Let me ask about that. That's a question. Okay, I'll find an answer out for you. Okay.
Okay, great.
All right. Okay, we'll just cancel that right now. Okay. All right. So you want to search for mail pieces, right? So we have several ways of getting to that screen, like the create tracking number. We have it in several locations. So we have mail pieces here. We have under favorites here. You have your piece search, okay? And if you go back to your home screen, you also have one of the shortcuts boxes here is piece search. Okay. So this is how you can look for pieces. Now you can search if you have the tracking number. You can just key that tracking number right in here. We have an advanced search here. Some filters you could use as well. Okay, so you have, pending, delivered. You want to see all your return to sender you're looking for. So anything you look, and if there's no filters, you don't have to have a filter set up. Okay, you can just search by partial barcode, full barcode, the address, the return reference field, any custom fields. Okay, you could use. So any of these fields you could use for search. All right, and does it have you want the ones with signature or no signature? So you could do true or false on that. And then your date ranges. Okay, once you find the piece, you search it. It's going to bring up the pieces here. Okay, it's going to show you the tracking number, delivery address, the status. It's going to be a cloud-based number that we generate. Okay, the program generates. Also, the person who sent it. Okay, and if you used a profile, if you used a return reference number, would show up here as well. Okay, you have your job ID here. This is, remember I told you about the second page, you're getting the history of the piece. Well, you got it here as well. You got live tracking. Okay, so if you want to go see the piece and see what's happening, this is actually live. So this will show exactly where that piece is at the time. So you have your date, time, event, and the event location where the piece is. Right, so you also have, here's where you could reprint your banner page. So remember I said we could reprint it? Okay, so this is where we could reprint our banner page. All right. We could turn off email notifications for this piece if we want to by checking these boxes here.
Gotcha.
If you see a little teeter-totter here, it's basically a black line with like two circles on either end. It does look like a teeter-totter. If you click on that, that'll take you right to the website, the post office website, and it'll show you that the piece has been delivered. If you see a little icon here with it looks like a letter, okay, that's your proof of delivery. That's your PDF. So if you click on that, it'll open up your PDF and it'll have the signature on it. So you could print it, you could save it, whatever you want to do with the piece, okay? You could share it. You have your status here. So this could be multiple things. It could be, again, it could be traveling. So it could be in transit somewhere. Once you see delivered, if you see a green triangle next to it, that means the piece has been delivered, but there's no signature yet. So this green triangle will give you an estimated date of when the piece will be delivered, when the signature will be available. Okay. So what happens is the post office gathers the signatures, tracking numbers all during the week, and the weekend they start putting everything together. On Monday, that's where they upload all this information to the system. Gotcha. So if you delivered Friday, if you got your piece was delivered Friday, okay, we're going to give you that estimated date. Okay, most likely it'll be the next Monday, not the following Mondays. It'll be the next Monday. It depends on when the carrier gets that file into the system. All right, and they put it all together. Now, I heard that some pieces they do trickle in Tuesday into Wednesday, okay, but mostly it's Monday. Monday's usually the day that they upload everything. Okay, so that's what you'll see, but it'll give you an estimated date whenever you're ready. All right. Any questions on the P search or? Oh, by the way, new feature we added. You could export all this information that you call up on the screen here. Okay, so if you want to export it into a CSV file, you can. Okay.
Sure.
All right. So you have job history. So remember when we submitted to the USPS, it became a job, right? Okay.
Right.
So I mentioned that you could print your postal report here if you forgot to do it. Okay, so no big deal. So if you click done, your job disappeared. Come back into here, job search for your job. Okay, and the way you do that, of course, this one is for today, so this one's easy. But you have advanced search here, and you have different filters. What kind of job are you looking for? Was it processed already? Was it sent to USPS? Was it accepted? So you're looking for the particular job. Okay. So once you find it, it'll show you the number of pieces in the job. It'll show you again the user sent to the USPS. This is your report. Eventually, this will say accepted or accepted with warnings. Okay, and hopefully not rejected. All right, but it'll have the date and time. This will drill down to all the pieces within that job. So you can click on this. It'll open up all the pieces within that job. This job detail is basically the same information as this right here that you're looking at. Okay. Okay, and all right, and that's it. That's it for jobs. Okay, and also you could do an error warn report. This will show you, what some of the errors were in the pieces here. Okay, gotcha. So that's what you would see here. All right. I have a question for you on. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. You could answer.
No, you're fine. So do we need to wait for it to go to accepted by the USPS before we take it over to the post office?
Well, again, it's up to you. I mean, okay. Normally people are going to do it at the end of the day. They're just going to take it to the post office. You'll get the report. If like I said, accepted with warning is not a big deal. Rejected would be a problem, but most likely you're not going to see that. Okay, again, it was a very rare occurrence that happens. Okay, but it's in the system in case it does happen.
Sure.
Do you ever send a lot of certified mail pieces that are like the same weight? Okay, say the same weight, same price, but you're sending them different places. It's just you're sending a lot of them at one time.
No. I mean, the most we ever sent at one time is maybe 4 or 5. Oh,
okay. No, not worth it then. All right, great. You have an address book. Remember I told you about the address book. So every time if you put an address book into the system, address into the system, you could save it, right? So remember, I saved it to your address book. So it's not public. No. I hit the edit pencil. Okay, and I can scroll down and I can check share with all users, hit save. And now that'll make it public. So anybody who logs into the system would be able to find this address.
Sure.
You have new address book entry here, which you could fill in, manually. You could put all your addresses in. You also have an import. Do you think you'll ever use the import address file? So this you would need an Excel file. We'll give you a sample of the headings that we need, and then you just fill in all your data, and then you could do an import.
Honestly, we send less than 100 certifieds a year.
Oh, okay. So you're not going to use. Yeah, you're not going to use.
We're not. That. We'll just copy and paste it from where we know we're getting it from.
Right.
Here.
Okay, great. And then you'll validate it too while you're at it.
Right. Yeah,
okay, good. Exactly. Okay, and if you want to add them to your address book, you can. And eventually you could export them out too from here. And sure. They'll all be good addresses mostly because they're validated. So you'll know to be good.
Right.
All right. So you have reports here. Again, only administrators can see the reports function. Okay, reports is going to be an Excel spreadsheet that you're going to see. Okay, and you have different reports here, and this is very interesting because if you see pieces delivered without signature, apparently you can request a refund if the post office failed to get a signature for you. Okay, so you can print this report out and say, hey, post office, I didn't get these pieces were delivered without a signature. Okay, so I just want to show you that, and that's why this is in here, this report. So there's a few reports in here. Okay, signature files received, not doing departments, and there's a few other pieces returned to sender. That's a return to sender report. So if you want to view that, but right now it's just pieces, so we're just going to download this report. It's going to open up in Excel. And again, you put your date range in of what the report is. Usually people do a monthly report or whatever. Okay. Okay, so it's going to have all this information in it. So basically, it's all the information we've been seeing, right? It's going to have the barcode. It's going to have it that we said to the certified mail piece, and it's going to have your mailer ID here. Okay, the first class postage amount. So this one was 50 cents. Okay, 560 was the total fees. 510. What is it? $1.60 for the return receipt now. Okay, that's your savings right there. Okay, the address it went to. And if you use any of the fields, okay, as far as custom fields, okay, they would be,
Right.
yeah, they'll be across. So you have the username who sent the piece. There's the return reference number. I think let me just scroll up. There we go. Return reference numbers here. The custom fields are down on this end. There they are. So if you use any of those fields, they would be there. Okay. Anything here. Payment method, that means meter. Number 4 is meter. Okay, postage meter.
Right.
And that's it. And that's your report. Okay. Okay, so now, what if you need help? Okay, now in the next few days, if you have any questions, feel free, just send me an email. And, since I know your program already. We also have the ability now to leave notes if there's special customization you have done. So now we could actually leave notes in the program. So if anybody else logs in, like another support technician or whatever, they can read the notes and see, what's going on with your, situation. But anyway, so we have support chat here. So has anybody ever used this where, you're online and rather than making a phone call, they tell you the phone your wait time is like 2 hours or something, and they say, well, use the support chat. Okay, so we have that support chat here. Okay, so you have your name, email address, phone number, put a message in. Once you hit start chatting, you will open up a chat session with another technician. They'll keep a log. They'll email you the log later on of your conversation. So hopefully it was resolved. Okay.
Sure.
You also have support here. All right. You have contact support. You have a feature request. So if there's something you'd like to see, say for example, the email address. Okay, I want to put in a different email address. You can click on this and request something like that. Okay. You have online documentation here as well. So under contact, it's going to bring up another window. This will open up a support ticket, okay? So now you'll be talking to support via email, all right? So again, you fill in all this information and then severity level, detailed description, hit submit.
Mm-hmm.
Online documentation, let's see if we can get through. This is our YouTube channel, okay? So we have eCertify is your program, or is the solution you're using. If I want to go back and watch how I make a mail piece, I can go to mail piece creation. There's a 5-minute video on how to do that. Okay.
Gotcha.
I have how to add users. I can go users. It'll give me step-by-step on how to add users to the system. Okay. And then anything else here that you think you would use, custom fields, the locations, control panel down below. I'm going to show you that in a minute. My profile, I'm going to show you that as well. But all this stuff is in here. Job history, reports, address book. Okay, everything is in here. It's either a video, 1 or 2 minute video, or step-by-step. All right? Okay. You also have frequently asked questions as well, right here. Let's go back to home. Now, I mentioned before that for simplicity, when you add users, we just use the email address as the password. Makes it easy, right? So you don't have to decide what password am I going to assign this person. You could go in and change it. Once you log in, go to my profile, scroll down to the bottom, put your current password in, new one, retype, save. Okay?
Sure.
Now, I mentioned you could customize your home page. Okay, so you come over here, you can manage your favorites, so whatever's in your favorites, you can manage. You can enable email or disable the email notifications. You can set the home page, okay, to whatever you like. All right, so right now it's just set to the default, okay, so it brings up, my mail queue piece search is all here on the window. You could bring it up to right to my mail queue, or you can go right to create tracking when you first log in. You also have home screen shortcuts. So if you have those 3 green boxes, you could check which ones you want to see and which ones you don't. All right?
Sure.
We'll go back here. Again, admins have this control panel. Custom fields. Remember I mentioned before I have return reference number? I can make it required. If I check that box, I can make it required. It would put a red asterisk next to it.
Sure.
Custom field. If I want to rename this field, I can rename it, okay? And I can make it required as well. Any of these fields, I could do the same thing. I would just hit save, and that's it. All right. Is there anything you'd like me to go over again with you, or do you want to create a tracking yourself?
I'm good. Does anybody else need to have anything gone over? Okay. Then I think we're good.
How many other users do you have, Lauren, that that will be not using the system, but sending pieces out?
So there's going to be 5 of us set up as users who can create stuff.
Yep.
And we probably have 4 or 5 people other than that send out certified that will need to have their email.
Okay.
The email sent to them.
Okay. Yep.
Or we have to figure that out still.
Well, that's what I'm going to work on for you. Okay. So
Yeah.
I have to think about it. I'm going to bring it up with I can bring it up with the developer, see what he may have a suggestion or a recommendation. Okay.
Okay.
I'm just trying to think. I'm just thinking, well, let me think about it, okay? And I could actually test it. I could test my theories out, okay, and then see if they work, and then I'll let you know what will work the best for you. Okay? All right, great, Lauren.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll send that copy of that. You can print that out for me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and then I just send it back to you in the envelope that you sent?
Yes, that's all you have to do. Yep, okay.
Perfect.
All right, that'd be great. Well, it was nice meeting all of you today.
You too.
Okay,
Thank you.
Yeah, good luck with the system. And if you have any, like I said, if you have any questions, pop me an email. I'll respond. I usually have 2 trainings a day, so I may be in between the trainings. But I usually get to my emails right away. I don't usually let them sit.
Sure.
So, okay. All right.
No problem.
All right.
Thank
great.
you very much.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you. Take care, everyone.
Thanks.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.